questo momento con i colleghi stavamo scherzando un po' dicendo che chissà, magari tra qualche anno dei Champions League l'Inter c'è già, lo Sheffield United chissà. Chi potrebbe essere il giocatore più insidioso dell'Inter? Chi temi di più? Which is the most dangerous player for Inter, do you think? Who will Sheffield United be most wary of?
Well, I think certainly the one the fans are all talking about is Icardi, because he's very well known over here in England. I mean, I think there was a huge degree of excitement even here when he didn't make the Argentina squad for the World Cup. But I think, rather than picking out names, it's one of the things that the fans here don't really do, precisely because Sheffield United are a team. They're a team in the true sense of the word. They're not really a team that looks to an individual star. They're all about the group. So I think that philosophy, that feeling is translated into the crowd. And rather than looking at individuals, listen, there's so many great individuals in the Inter side. I think generally they're just looking forward to the experience. The players are too. It'll be a great learning curve for them. It'll be a great learning experience for them. And those are the terms of both the squad and the week.
Sì, sicuramente c'è tanto interesse, soprattutto c'è tanto entusiasmo attorno a Mauro Icardi. Siamo rimasti piuttosto sorpresi quando lui non è stato convocato per il mondiale, ma più che i singoli vorremmo parlare appunto della squadra, proprio perché lo Sheffield United gioca come squadra, in quanto in modulo non ci sono stelle in questa squadra, è davvero un complesso questa squadra qua, e quindi ci sarà tanto entusiasmo, e questo magari è anche recepito dal pubblico, quindi siamo molto curiosi di vedere l'esito della partita. Infine ti chiedo un pronostico. Prediction for tonight's game?
Well, Fenerbahce came here a couple of seasons ago, and everybody, of course, thought that they would wipe the floor with Sheffield United. They'd run away. They also fielded a very, very strong side. But this is a gutsy team, and it's the type of team that will rise to the occasion. They're possibly a little bit ahead as well of Inter in terms of their pre-season preparations. So, you know what, I'm going to sit on the fence, I'm going to be polite, I'm going to be diplomatic, and I'm going to say a 3-all draw.
Direi un pareggio per 3-3, perché Fenerbahce è venuto qua qualche anno fa, ha schierato anche lui una formazione piuttosto forte, e quindi stiamo a vedere, perché c'è tanto carattere in questa squadra di Sheffield United, e perciò rimango neutro e dico un pareggio per 3-3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
E bravo il nostro Patrick, che ha anche intercettato un collega per fare il punto su questa amichevole. Che cosa ti aspetti di vedere questa sera, Umberto?
Come diceva anche Roby, un passo avanti importante nel riuscire a proseguire step by step e non più sulle montagne russi da parte dell'Inter, con conferme da chi abbiamo visto esprimersi piuttosto bene nella partita contro lo Zenit, un po' una conferma da parte del collettivo, e voglio vedere risposte anche da questo nuovo modulo, questo 4-4-2, che è un inedito, ma ci sono i giocatori funzionali per fare in modo che possa girare molto bene.
E soprattutto dalla coppia d'attacco, dalla quale tutti si aspettano tanto, perché in questi giorni, lo ricordiamo, i tifosi ci hanno mandato un sacco di messaggi, hanno ovviamente tanta voglia di giocare insieme. I due hanno già dimostrato di essere affiatati fuori dal campo con i vari post sui social.
Esatto, e questa è una dinamica che siamo certi possa esprimersi anche nel rettangolo verde da questo punto di vista.
Bene, manca pochissimo al fischio d'inizio, allora direi di tornare anche al Bramall Lane per fare il punto della situazione, Roby.
6 squadre rientrate negli spogliatoi, sbandieratori al lavoro, c'è una ragazza che ci sta intonando un inno, e allora tutti in piedi qua per prepararsi all'ingresso in campo delle formazioni. Allora ricapitolerei i 2-11: Andanovic, noi fra i pali, con D'Ambrosio, De Vrij, Skriniar ed Albert la linea di difesa, Emmers, Gagliardini, Samoa e Candreva la mediana, Icardi e il Toro Martinez là davanti. Banca per tutti gli altri, e non avevamo detto, ma aggregati 2 giovani in più che sono Felice D'Amico, centrocampista palermitano della Berretti della passata stagione, e Lorenzo Gavioli, arrivato dalla SPAL, anche lui un 2000, sono a prendere il posto di fatto di Politano e Borca Valero, che sono rimasti precauzionalmente a casa. Il 3-5-2 dello Sheffield, con Henderson fra i pali, Basham, Egan e O'Connell i tre difensori, Baldock e Stevens i due esterni, Fleck il playmaker, Evans e Lindström i due cursori, Clark e McGoldrick il tandem offensivo. L'arbitro è inglese, si chiama Peter Banks. A lui in bocca al lupo, a tutti quanti voi buon divertimento. Ricordiamo per chi avesse amici anche all'estero che la partita potrà essere vista attraverso Facebook sia in Italia ma in tutto il mondo con il commento di Patrick Kendrick.
Grazie mille Roby, a più tardi. Noi ci ritroviamo allora per l'intervallo a fine primo tempo, Umberto.
Grazie a Federica su queste note di Nessun Dorma da parte della cantante che fa questo omaggio alla nostra Italia.
Buona partita a tutti, a più tardi.
Prova, 1, 2, 3, prova. Very good evening, welcome along to Bramall Lane. Welcome along to Bramall Lane as both sides pre-seasons continue. It's Sheffield United up against Inter as the Italian side have travelled to English shores and one of the most storied football grounds in the world. Sheffield United go into this match unbeaten thus far throughout their pre-season campaign. 4 matches, 3 victories and a draw for them. Most recently in their last fixture last Saturday, a goalless draw with local side Mansfield Town. As for Inter, it's very much an even set of results. They won their first pre-season friendly 3-0 in Lugano in Switzerland. They played another game a few days later at Sion lost by 2 goals to nil, and most recently played out a 6-goal thriller, 3 apiece. It ended in Pisa against Zenit St. Petersburg as coach Luciano Spalletti met his former club. There's a lot of interest surrounding this game. It's not every day that Sheffield United are up against a team that will be involved in Champions League football. That's the case because the Nerazzurri are back at Europe's top table for the first time in 6 years after finishing 4th last time out in Serie A. There's around 500 fans that have either travelled from Italy, I say either travelled or are based in these parts, because such is the international appeal of the Nerazzurri. There are people that travel from far and wide, especially at this stage of the campaign as well. We're all set to go now. Sheffield United will start their league campaign in 10 days' time on this ground against Swansea City. It'll be a tough match, Swansea being relegated from the Premier League last term. But here we go then. We're all set for live coverage. The referee is Mr. Peter Banks, who leads out the 2 sides. The team news for Sheffield United is as follows. There's a first appearance, a debut, albeit not in competitive action, for John Egan. He was signed for around £4 million from Brentford, a ball-playing centre-half. He'll slot in there alongside Basham and O'Connell. As for Inter, Spalletti has momentarily done away with his 4-2-3-1. It will be a 4-4-2 tonight for the visitors, with Cian Emmers wide right and Antonio Candreva on the left. And new signing Lautaro Martinez will be paired alongside captain Mauro Icardi in an all-kind strike force. There's a lot of excitement about that. Lautaro Martinez has already bagged a couple of goals thus far since joining the club in the summer from Racing Club. The pitch is in tremendous condition, I have to say. Peter Banks in charge of this one then. Decent crowd in as well. Bramall Lane holds a shade over 33,000. This is the Sheffield United team. The news then is Egan in from the start in signing. Was an unused substitute on Saturday despite having cleared all the paperwork. And David McGoldrick has also signed terms with the Blades. He underwent a successful trial. He wears the number 17 shirt tonight. Inter will no doubt start as favourites, as befits a club of their stature. That said, Sheffield United will get their competitive campaign started well before Inter, because Serie A doesn't get underway until the 19th of August. 4th of August is the start date for the home side tonight. A fortnight ahead then in terms of their pre-season plans, in terms of their fitness levels. And this is a side that's been playing for 2 seasons under with this very well-oiled 3-5-2. Lots of players out there keen to test themselves against the very best, and there are a number of stars in action for Inter. There's a number of stars missing as well for the Nerazzurri. Politano, Borja Valero, Nainggolan and Jan Caramo all didn't travel, as they are working their way towards full fitness at the training ground. There's still 4 players away after their World Cup commitment. Joao Miranda, Matias Vecino and the Croatian duo that started in the World Cup final, Marcelo Brozovic and Ivan Perisic. So you're in the company of Patrick Kendrick then for Inter's 4th pre-season friendly, Sheffield United's 5th. There's no trophy on the line, but this will be a crucial test for both sides to figure out where they are. 4-4-2 for Spalletti. We'll see how the experiment works out. We're underway then at Bramall Lane. Immediately given away by Asamoah. He's able to redeem himself. Gagliardini's pass came off the referee. Sheffield United are able to settle things down. It's the first touch for Egan in a red and white shirt. Forward by O'Connell. Felt he got a shove, and they agreed. First involvement for Mr. Banks. Milan Skriniar. For the moment, Asamoah has gone into central midfield. There was some question marks about the side because Inter is set up in a number of different ways. But it does look like it will be Candreva wide left and CNM as wide right. It's in towards the skip Riccardi. Breaks here for Antonio Candreva. Not quite the same bullet that he produced in the last friendly. He got the opener at the Arena Garibaldi in Pisa. An absolutely stunning strike from 30 yards. That's despite failing to find the net last season for the Nerazzurri. Long it goes from Henderson, who's on loan from Manchester United. Well, one back by Candreva. Lautaro Martinez ahead of him, and it's well cut out by Basham. Needed to be alert there. Skriniar into seeing plenty of the early ball. Candreva. Emmers will give chase. Dean Henderson got there just in time. John Egan. Candreva goes to chase. Calmly done by Basham. That's Lundstrom. Nice build-up play from Sheffield United. Well, one though by Lautaro Martinez. Breaks here for Lundstrom. Now O'Connell. Inter content to just sit back for the moment. They will have studied this 3-5-2 for Sheffield United. 10th in the Championship last season. It might have been a lot better. They were top at the end of October, seeking back-to-back promotion. Calmly done by O'Connell there. Fleck keeps things ticking over. McGoldrick wanted it on this near side, but didn't quite get there. This is Fleck. Looks for Clark, who's offside. Decent build-up play from Sheffield United. It brought some applause. And Leon Clark went a moment early. Handanovic for Gagliardini. Cian Emmers. We have seen Matteo Politano operating on the right side in a 4-2-3-1 for Inter since joining from Sassuolo, but Emmers gets the nod on that flank tonight. Politano hasn't travelled. Henderson for O'Connell. Helped on towards David McGoldrick. In steps Stefan de Vrij. Now Candreva. Crowded out and ended up hauling down Evans. Taken quickly. Asamoah had his back turned, which is what he's suggesting to the referee. He's not happy the ball was just punted into the back of his head. Can understand why as well. Sheffield United trying to take the free kick quickly. Luciano Spalletti, as ever, the calmest man inside Bramall Lane. Chris Wilder, meantime, has taken charge of 100 games. Guided Sheffield United to the League One title 2 seasons ago, having won League One the previous year. 100 points with Sheffield United, 99. And winning League Two with Northampton. That's a lovely ball from Handanovic, and Asamoah's in a bit of space. And now he's found Candreva. Martinez to his right. Candreva thinks about going for goal and does. He wants a penalty. Did seem to catch the arm of Jack McConnell. Quick release meantime towards Leon Clark, and De Vrij's in charge. Well worth another look at that. Candreva let fly and certainly caught O'Connell. It's just which part of the body it struck. Candreva looking for Lautaro Martinez, unable to find him. Candreva full of confidence after scoring that 30-yard screamer at Pisa against Zenit. He's already tried his luck a couple of times. In steps Dalbert. Firm challenge coming in there on John Lundstrom. Another good shot from Candreva. And if it did catch the arm, it was just on the edge of the box. It would have only been a free kick. Had the referee seen anything untoward? And Dalbert is in a spot of bother here. Some impressive wins in pre-season anyway for Sheffield United. They all got started with a 5-1 rout of Stockbridge Park Steels, a non-league outfit. That's to be expected, but then they won in the Algarve against Maritimo, Portuguese top-flight side from the island of Madeira. They edged Bradford City by 3-2. That goalless draw against Mansfield Town was the only time they failed to win in pre-season. There are those that say that pre-season results aren't that important. There are those also that argue otherwise. It seems to be the shoulder that's giving Dalbert some jib here. Looks uncomfortable. He may have just jarred it, landing on the right shoulder. He looks in a lot of discomfort, the left back. This is not ideal for Luciano Spalletti and his pre-season preparation. Some anxiety etched on the faces of the fans as well. It's just a robust challenge, really, between him and John Lundstrom. Dalbert immediately signalled to the referee that he was in a spot of bother. And in fact, Inter already going to make a change. Majroric is stripped and ready to go. Beneath us, the Slovenian under-18 international. But this is not what Dalbert would have wanted. This is not what Inter would have wanted. And a sad sight in this friendly. We're not even 8 minutes in yet. And Inter will have to make a change. In their second friendly of the summer at Sion, they suffered a couple of injuries. Jan Karamo and Rajanay Golan, the new marquee signing, but there is young Majroric. And we will have a bit of a delay here. Some oxygen for the player as well. It could be a dislocated shoulder. I don't like to speculate. So I'm not a qualified medic, but certainly the way he landed and the discomfort that Dalbert's feeling would indicate that he's at least experiencing a lot of pain. We won't know the extent of the injury until he's been checked over by the medical team. So I took you through briefly Sheffield United's pre-season plans thus far. Inter have recorded a win and loss and a draw, albeit with slightly extenuating circumstances. The fixture list has been put together at this stage of the campaign to really test them. They've been doing double training sessions throughout their training camp at Appiano Gentile. And they've also played 3 friendlies. It was a fairly innocuous challenge, really. Lundstrom colliding with Dalbert, who gets a generous round of applause from all concerned here. Disappointing for the Brazilian, who looked very good in the 3-3 draw against Zenit last time out. Restored to that left flank, having operated at right back in Inter's second friendly. So the change will involve a quick switch as well. The shape won't change. Roric is going to operate wide right. Cian Emmers has gone into central midfield. Asamoah's dropped back to left back, and Candreva's gone across to left midfield. So it's still a 4-4-2. Candreva was already left midfield. So it's basically Emmers has come into central midfield. Asamoah's gone to left back, and Roric has taken up that position on the right wing. But we're back underway. There will be a bit of added time. Icardi is onside. Showed a bit of interest in that. Lots of space for Ender Stevens. In steps Emmers. He lost the challenge. Well dealt with by Skriniar. Roric can't get there first. It's a good challenge from Gagliardini to dispossess Lundstrom. Now Samoa taking a chance. It's given away by Candreva. This is David McGoldrick. Inter determined to play their way out. Finally it goes long from Handanovic. Good footballing side, Sheffield United, despite operating in the second tier of English football. They know what they're doing with this 3-5-2. D'Ambrosio under this. Get it clear as far as Roric. Back with D'Ambrosio, and he was caught there by Clark. De Vrij for Asamoah, two of the new signings combined. And the Ghanaian wins a free kick. Foul coming in from George Baldock. Clever first touch, that from the Ghanaian. Not sure he meant it, but was all set to collect the ball the other side of Baldock, the former MK Dons youth team product. Kwadwo Asamoah, who won 6 league titles with Juventus before joining on a free transfer in the summer. That's De Vrij. Gagliardini under pressure, he's lost it. This is Lundstrom stepping in. It's wide to McGoldrick, a couple to aim for in the box for him. No flag, despite Inter wanting it. Well dealt with by Skriniar. Icardi battling for it, breaks for Gagliardini, and now Lautaro Martinez. Important covering challenge from Ender Stevens. Now O'Connell. Decent start this from Sheffield United. That's John Fleck. On it goes, one more from Lee Evans. Not to be confused with Ched Evans, who's joined Fleetwood Town on loan. If you are joining us slightly late, it's still goalless, as you can see here at Bramall Lane, between Sheffield United and Inter. Nerazzurri already forced into a change. Dalbert going down heavily on his shoulder. He's been replaced by youngster Mai Roric. Calmly done again by Handanovic. Roric has been involved in all 3 of Inter's friendlies so far for a total of about an hour's football in all. Great footwork that from Skriniar. Slightly careless by Gagliardini. Could Inter come away with it? Sian Emmers, now D'Ambrosio. A bit more urgency about the visitors. D'Ambrosio for Roric. There's too much on it. Good block from Lautaro Martinez. It's gone into touch then from McGoldrick, unable to keep it in. Really impressed his new coach, Chris Wilder, whilst appearing in those friendlies as a trialist. He was released from Ipswich Town in the summer, or earlier in the summer I should say. Still in late July. Lautaro Martinez wins a throw-in. D'Ambrosio. Emmers. Back with the Italian. He's found a cross towards Icardi. May have been a touch on that from Baldock. Challenge from Gagliardini ahead of John Lundstrom. I'm sure he might have felt a twang of what if Lundstrom as he saw England get into the semi-finals of the World Cup. Only a few years ago he was involved with the under-20s with a number of players that have gone on to represent the senior side. More on that in a moment. Nice ball from O'Connell. Ender Stevens with the cross. That's Evans. Basham. Lundstrom between the lines. Asamoah beaten to it. It's in towards McGoldrick, and this is Clark. Still a chance for the home side. And the last touch was off Sian Emma's first opening for Sheffield United. Clever ball that from Lundstrom. Bulldog got forward from wing back. Eventually the effort came in from Evans. Evans takes the corner. A couple of players free at the back post. That really should have been the opener for the visitors. Great opportunity for the Blades. And Handanovic stayed at home. Roric. Ambrosio goes up towards Icardi, unable to link up with his compatriot Martinez. Defray wanted his goalkeeper to come. Dutchman instead finds D'Ambrosio. Easy for Sheffield United, who've been very good on the ball, very pleasing on the eye thus far. John Fleck, Leon Clark. Fleck's in a bit of space. Still the Scotsman, he's dug out a cross as well. Away by Skriniar, on by Roric. It will be a Sheffield United throw. Stevens with a chance to put in a cross. The last touch is off D'Ambrosio. Almost surprised by the ferocity of the challenge coming in from George Baldock. Another look at this. Handanovic stayed at home. Two of them went out for it. Basham unable to get his head to it. But it was a really promising opening. And they'll look to do the same again. Plenty in there for Evans' corner. Too deep this time. Will be a throw-in. Jack O'Connell disappointed with the delivery. I do feel that set pieces could be an avenue that Sheffield United could exploit. That's miscued by Asamoah and dealt with by Handanovic. Emes, Candreva. On it goes from Roric for Asamoah. Skriniar trying to run it out. Good strength from the Slovak. Lautaro Martinez now. Gagliardini has Asamoah to his left. Instead he gets it back from Roric, who's just drifting. Candreva looks for movement ahead of him, picks out Sian Emma's, who would have been better off controlling that. Just let it bounce, and that allowed Jack O'Connell to sneak in. We may see something of Billy Sharp later for Sheffield United, I'm sure we will, the club captain. 78 goals in 200 appearances over 3 spells for the Blades. As for the inter-subs, there's a number of players from the Primavera, the under-19s, that same under-19 side that ran out here 11 years ago in a friendly against Sheffield FC, the oldest football club in the world, now in the 8th tier, to celebrate their 150th anniversary. Pele was there that night, flicked on by Leon Clark. Goldrick underneath it, but Skriniar once again showing why he's got such a big reputation, not only in Italy now, but around the world as well. Talk of links from, or interest from Barcelona first and Manchester United after that, but he's very happy where he is in Milan. Milan Skriniar. Gagliardini just helped it round the corner without really an intended target. Dean Henderson hasn't had much to do so far. Leon Clark is offside. It's a tight one, but he was just the wrong side of D'Ambrosio as that was flicked on. Clark, who struck 19 league goals last season. 2 behind Mate Vidra, who's the top scorer in the championship. Fine effort from someone who's been around the block a bit. He's played for a number of clubs in this part of the world, including Sheffield Wednesday. Here is Clark. Crowded out by D'Ambrosio, albeit illegally in the view of Mr. Banks. A reminder of Inter's upcoming commitments. The International Champions Cup will get started in Nice for them on Saturday as they play Chelsea under Maurizio Sarri. A new look Chelsea side. Then 7 days later they'll head down to southern Italy, Lecce and the Stadio Via del Mare for a game against Lyon. Easy enough for Handanovic meantime. And finally, a huge game against one of their former players, who's in the dugout at the Wanda Metropolitano. Diego Simeone in charge of Los Colchoneros, Atletico Madrid. No goal then here at Bramall Lane thus far. Midway through the first half, albeit there will be 3 or 4 minutes of added time given the lengthy delay for the injury to Dalbert whilst he got treatment. Inter haven't quite settled into their groove thus far. That is symptomatic of all the hard graft they've been putting in on the training ground. Long it goes from Baldock, looking for the head of McGoldrick. Well won by Asamoah, who's gone down. Clash of heads there with John Lundstrom. Thankfully, it doesn't seem unduly hurt, the Ghanaian. It's the same flank upon which Dalbert got injured. Talking about John Lundstrom, I mentioned him earlier on, Everton youth team player. He started at England under-20 match in 2013 alongside Ross Barkley, Harry Kane, Eric Dyer, John Stones was on the bench that night. 3 of those 4 players were all involved in the run to the semi-finals for Gareth Southgate's England. Not that he's had a bad career by any means. But when you see where some of the graduates of that side have gone on to play their football, just be a tinge of regret for John Lundstrom. Who knows, he could be playing in the Premier League this time next year. Sheffield United are to mount a promotion challenge. That is the beauty of Championship football. You go into the campaign every year not knowing who's going to win. Wolves very much the surprise package last season. Lovely ball from Icardi and Candrevas on his bike. Lautaro Martinez making his way to the middle. It's in towards him. Not the best delivery from Candreva. Tries his luck again. And Henderson knew what he was doing. Once again, Sheffield United play their way out from the back. It breaks down as they look for Clark. Lautaro Martinez in space. It's through towards Icardi. And the 20-year-old was caught as he tried to feed it through to his skipper. Lautaro Martinez, who won't turn 21 until the 2nd of August. He's got a birthday coming up. Challenge has to Fry, and now Danilo D'Ambrosio. It was deflected. Henderson did well to keep his eye on it. Chris Wilder below us, just wondering why his defenders seemed to switch off. D'Ambrosio left the initial ball, and that's why he was unattended, as Evans just let him drift beyond him. Long it goes from Jack O'Connell. Well won by Asamoah. It will be a Sheffield United throw. Asamoah, did that catch his arm? Play continues because Sheffield United have it. And it comes from Lundstrom. It's come off Asamoah. That's Ender Stevens. Swept clear by Emmers. A few hairy moments at times for Inter. Leon Clark comes deep for it. Evans round the corner. Well dealt with by Skriniar. Put clear by Gagliardini meantime. Stevens wanted the give and go. Gets it back from Fleck. And the Scotsman's continued his run. It's still John Fleck, and it's helped through towards McGoldrick. And Sheffield United take the lead. It's the new signing, David McGoldrick. The flag stayed down. And it's a tidy finish from him. Good combination from Stevens and Fleck down the left flank. And what a way to mark his first game since signing. Some suspicion about whether the flag should have gone up. Lovely dink ball, wasn't it, from John Fleck? Suspicion of offside, but Handanovic couldn't get out quite quickly enough to deny McGoldrick. It's a neat finish from a fine finisher. It does look sharp. He's been training with Nottingham Forest under 23s. And he's been described in recent days by Chris Wilder as class. And he showed plenty of it there. So Sheffield United who take the lead, courtesy of David McGoldrick. McGoldrick trying to cut out that pass from Handanovic, but Skriniar has it. Into with some work to do. Emmers. Candreva in plenty of space to his right. Here is the Italy international. Candreva's ball in. Cleared by Stevens into touch. How will the Nerazzurri respond to going behind? Ambrosio thought he was caught there by Ender Stevens, who's done himself a bit of damage making that challenge, and Skriniar puts the ball into touch. Then, the home fans very happy after seeing their side take the lead. Have been linked with a couple of strikers, Martin Waghorn of Ipswich Town and David Nugent as well. Another look at the challenge between D'Ambrosio and Stevens, but it's David McGoldrick who is a free agent. Gave him the chance to prove himself on a trial. He's done exactly that, and now he's proving himself against the highest quality of opposition. Inter, who will be in the Champions League draw on the 30th of August. They'll be in pot 4. Promises to be a fantastic group, that one. There is potential for a group of death with a club of the stature of Inter being in the lowest pot. That's really down to their 6-year absence away from Europe's top table. But they're back where they belong, as the club feel. Asamoah has pushed on very high from left back. And that's why Roric has just dropped in. Gagliardini. Candreva, I should say. On it goes to Gagliardini again. Emmers gives chase. It's watched behind by O'Connell. Dean Henderson started the goalless draw with Mansfield Town. Had another goalkeeper, another promising goalkeeper on loan last season, Jamal Blackman from Chelsea. This time it's from Manchester United. It's dropped here for Fleck to try his luck. Handanovic was motionless, and that could have easily been a second for the home side. Dropped very invitingly for John Fleck once he brought it down on his chest. Round the corner from Icardi, it's a nice idea, but Henderson will come to deal with it. I'm not seeing too much of either Lautaro Martinez or Mauro Icardi thus far. Another look at this Fleck effort. Struck it very well. You do sense that Handanovic knew it was going wide. Forward by Henderson. It's judged by Gagliardini. D'Ambrosio picks up the pieces. Skriniar looking for options. Not too much movement ahead of him. Instead he looks for the run forward of Lautaro Martinez. It's an important headed challenge, that one. Coming in from John Egan. Evans. Quite content to keep the ball at the back, Sheffield United. Nice give and goes as well. And Stevens has kept it in. Frido is favourite to get there. Good outlet this. Ender Stevens down the left. He was promoted from League Two with Portsmouth Stevens. Started all but one league game last term. Well, one back by Leon Clark as Icardi lost his footing, but Inter recover possession. Milan Skriniar. Now Quadro Asamoah. Emmers unable to bring the ball under control. You do wonder whether we'll see this 4-4-2 in the second half as well. Goldrick is the target, well won by D'Ambrosio. Emmers for Candreva, now Lautaro Martinez. Able to turn. Clever ball through for Antonio Candreva. Icardi's in the middle. Inter a level. It's the skipper with the goal. Good awareness from Candreva. And Mauro Icardi, having scored from the spot in Pisa against Zenit, backs one from open play here. Nicely worked goal that from Inter. They weren't behind for long. Lovely ball that from Lautaro Martinez. And Candreva got his head up quickly. Icardi just about got enough on it to bundle the ball home. Nothing that Henderson could do. And after scoring 29 goals in Serie A last term, joint top scorer in Italy's top flight. No surprise to see the name on the score sheet is that one yet again, Mauro Icardi. Well, won by Leon Clark, meantime, as Sheffield United try to respond. O'Connell. He's found a way through here for Fleck, who might try his luck. Still Fleck. And O'Connell came off Candreva. Will be a corner. Just under 10 minutes of the first half still to play, albeit with some added time for that injury to Dalbert early on. Once again, Lee Evans has come across to take it. It's got short, though. Clipped in by Fleck. Way by Emmers, only half cleared. The shot is wild in the end from Lundstrom. Well brought down by Asamoah, now Maid Roric. Asamoah ahead of him. Here is the Ghanaian. Neatly gets his way out of traffic. Skriniar looks for the movement of Icardi ahead of him, just a shade too much on the ball. Skipper appreciated the run nonetheless. Jack O'Connell. Into Stevens. Lovely first touch from John Fleck, who's been very impressive in this first half. The Scotsman, former Rangers player. Good challenge from Lautaro Martinez to snuff out that ball forward from Evans. That's Icardi, and on it goes towards Lautaro Martinez and Cian Evans. And Icardi! Good save from Henderson. Fabulous counter-attack from the Nerazzurri, and it was very nearly a second for Mauro Icardi. Emmers involved, Lautaro Martinez too. And the youngster on loan from Manchester United showing why Sheffield United have brought him in. He's only 21 years of age. It seems to have a very promising future. Candreva will take the resulting corner. In it comes from Candreva, doesn't beat the first man. Back out to Candreva from Gagliardini. Same result with this delivery, and it breaks here for McGoldrick. Sheffield United want to launch a counter. And in the end, there's a mix-up. Well, that's understandable. He's only just joined the football club, McGoldrick. Thought his teammate was going to give this run up the right-hand flank. Launched forward by Gagliardini. Drops here for Lautaro Martinez. Another look at that fine save from Henderson. It's clever work from Stevens. This is Fleck. Dealt with by De Vrij. Space for Gagliardini to move into. It's a difficult one for Asamoah to deal whilst keeping the ball in play. Just the one change so far. We expect to see a number of substitutions for the second half. Dalbert withdrawn from Maid Roric after suffering a shoulder injury. This is Lee Evans. Now Stevens. Fleck. Slightly miscued from O'Connell. The ball did go into touch. It's been a fairly open game. We waited a while for our first shot on target, but since then, at the opening goal from David McGoldrick, Icardi has since levelled and then drew a fine save from Dean Henderson. And it goes from Candreva. Clever ball that for Lautaro. Didn't get the flick on it. Martinez, but Icardi very nearly collected the other side of him. Bulldog wants a free kick and gets it. Icardi slightly over-eager with the challenge. forward by O'Connell. That's Fleck. Well in by D'Ambrosio, and now Emmers. And again in to have it. Lautaro Martinez looking for half a yard. Still Lautaro Martinez, and still maybe one twist or one turn too many for the young Argentine. He did have support left and right of him. Ball just got away from him here. He had to snatch at the shot. Candreva for Gagliardini. In towards Lautaro Martinez, looking for Emmers, well in by Stevens, but Lautaro comes away with it, and now Candreva with space to move into. Cardi wants it short on the edge. Candreva instead goes for goal, and punched away by Henderson. Would have crept in at the near post. My Roric. And it goes from De Vrij. Spalletti trying to get his point across just below us. Time for Evans to turn. Now Basham. They do have a number of balls playing centre-back, Sheffield United, apart from John Egan, the new signing, but also Chris Basham. So much so that he's playfully been nicknamed Basham Bauer by the Blades faithful. Shades of Beckenbauer. Another look at this. Candreva trying his luck after not seeing enough movement to really pick out a teammate on the edge. Cardi had long since stopped on the edge of the box. Given away by Lautaro Martinez. It's through into Aldrich. Handanovic alert to the danger. Calmly cushioned down by Roric meantime. Skriniar. Careless that from the Slovakian defender, dealt with by Stevens. Slightly miscued that from Dean Henderson, well won by Gagliardini. Roric underneath it, but it's won by Basham. De Vrij hits it long towards Icardi. Very calmly done, that by John Egan, showing why Sheffield United decided to invest £4 million in signing him. Gagliardini. Not too many options ahead of him. Lautaro Martinez, who was caught. Mr. Banks says that'll be a free kick to Inter into the last minute of the first half. Chris Wilder not happy with the assistant below us, asking him to put his flag up before the official's ready with the ball. Just 2 minutes of added time in the end. Did you feel there would have been more had this been a competitive fixture as opposed to anything else, as the free kick is smashed over the top from Candreva? Such is the friendly nature of the contest. I don't think there'll be too many complaints, but Dalbert was down for fully 3 or 4. Candreva unable to keep that effort down from the free kick. Leon Clark gives chase meantime. Calmly done by Handanovic. Gagliardini, that was closed down by McGoldrick. He got away with that. Former Atalanta man. D'Ambrosio Nicely laid off by Lautaro Martinez. It's through towards Icardi from Gagliardini. Mauro Icardi for number 2. It's back instead for Ciaremas. It's a fine block, I tell you what. It's either come off the face of Basham as he hurled himself in the way. You might question Icardi's decision to backheel that and not go for goal himself. Emes, meantime, has gone sliding in. Having run clear on Dean Henderson, it looked for all the world as if Icardi was going to shoot himself, but he curiously decided to backheel it. Emes got there. There you see, what a block that is from Chris Basham. But Icardi had the chance to get his and into second. A rather curious decision. Don't often question Mauro Icardi's motives in the penalty area, but there, certainly some eyebrows raised at his decision to look for a teammate. That will do for the first half, says Peter Banks. The first half which saw Sheffield United take the lead. David McGoldrick with a fine finish. But then the Blades were pegged back after Mauro Icardi scored his second goal of pre-season. Half-time score at Bramall Lane at Sheffield United 1, Inter 1. We'll be back shortly.